What's up guys, it's Tom from J97 again, and here's a how-to video on how to assemble a drop-through Lane Yachts drop carve. But also, this also works with any other drop-through board. So first what you want to do is you want to take apart your trucks so that you have all of the parts just individually ready to put on. So first what you want to do is take your first base plate. And what I like to do personally is I like to just like match up the hardware with the holes that I'm going to need to use so that I know where to put the screws. So for these bare 840 chucks and the cutouts, I'm going to be using the two farthest settings. So I'm just going to put the screws in first. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that with both base plates so I can get it out of the way. Alright, there we go. And now what you want to do is, usually when you have a drop-through board, you want to have risers or shock pads on so it evenly distributes the strain that is on the neck of the board, and it just helps to absorb a little bit of shock. So I'm just gonna put my hands over the heads of the screws, and I'm gonna put the risers on, or the shock pads. Sorry. Oh, I think I'm putting them on wrong. Sorry, guys. Alright, there we go. Okay, there's one truck, and on to the next one. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to take your base plate, flip it upside down with the kingpin facing out, and you want to line up the screws with the holes and start putting your base plate on. It takes a little bit of time just to line everything up the right way, but you'll get it. And if it gets stuck, you don't want to just slam down the hardware. You want to have everything lined up nicely so that it doesn't take out any of the board. So what you want to do if that happens, just take your Allen key or whatever tool that they send you for your hardware, and you just want to screw everything through so that it lines up perfectly. Because if it doesn't line up, you're not going to have a good time when you're riding down a hill and your truck just decides to fall off. Alright, there's two, and here are the last ones. Shock pads are very annoying, especially with drop-through trucks. God. Alright, that's the one that I'm going to do last. Alright, now just on to the last one, and we should be good. Alright, so, alright, now that you have your base plate on with the screws and riser strips on, you want to put the board sideways so that you're holding the top of the base plate and that the screws are sticking out. And what you want to do is you want to get all of your nuts and little washers for your board. And what you want to do is you want to take 4 washers and you want to put that over the hardware. So what this does is it just evenly distributes the weight so that you don't get any pressure cracks in your board. And nobody wants pressure cracks, because when you get pressure cracks, the whole neck of your board will snap off and then you have to go buy a new board. And with this economy, no one is going to be able to do that. So yeah, once you put on your washers, you want to get your nuts on. And then to secure this properly, you want to take whatever tool you need, which I need the Allen key, and you're going to take your skate tool and you're just going to tighten everything down. Just make sure everything is aligned properly so that nothing gets like restripped, because when you restrip hardware you have to go out and get new hardware and it's just a hassle to take off and then put back on. So you don't want to make it too tight because you don't want your washer to go into the deck, but you know it's tight when you take your tool and you push down and it doesn't move. So you just want to do that for every screw. You know, some people use drills to do this, but just because it takes up a little bit less time than if you're going to do it with just 2 tools. But some people don't have everything like that, so it's just easier. Honestly, I prefer doing this way because when you have a drill, you can over-tighten everything and everything will just be sunk into the board, and that's not good. Alright, on to the final screw. Alright, and we're done with the screws. Once you finish everything, just do a once over on everything, make sure everything's nice and tight and secure before you put your hanger on. See, this one was a little loose, I had to tighten it, and the rest of them are good. So now what you want to do is you want to reassemble your hanger. So first you take your board side bushing, put that on the axle, and then you want to take your hanger, put it into the pivot cup, and just wiggle it on so that it's firmly in place. Then you want to take your roadside bushing, put that on. Whatever washer you use, these are just stock bare cup washers. In my experience, I've seen that they work the best because they restrict the bushings nice and tightly for when you're going downhill, so it's not as twitchy. And then you want to put your kingpin nut back on and just tighten it down to whatever your liking is. Some people might like a nice loose truck. Some people like it nice and tight. I like it right in the middle so that it's still nice and carvy, but there's still good resistance for downhill. And then after your hanger's on, you can just take off your nuts for your truck axle, and then just take your wheels, slide them back on, put the nuts on, and tighten those down to your liking. You don't want to tighten it down all the way, because then you will press in the bearing shield into the actual bearing, and that can that's not good for the it's not good for the bearing, because you can crush the casing and damage it. So, you know, as you're going down, just like shake it a little bit, lift up and down. If there's a lot of room, obviously you want to tighten it down to where it's at a nice comfortable space where it has just a little bit of wiggle room, so you can hear it tapping against the you can hear the bearing tapping against each part of the axle. And yeah, once you get that one down on, you just put on your other wheel and do the exact same thing for the other side of the board. So thanks a lot, guys. If you have any questions, just write it. Just type one up in the comment bar below, and subscribe to see more footage of riding with this new Lane Yachts drop carve. So as always, skate safe, guys. Bye.